Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Team USA 40K podcast. WTC is
Woo!
over. We did it.
We
We
did it.
definitely skipped an episode where we were going to talk about all the practice and preparation and lists that we did. And we didn't do that because we were just so busy practicing and preparing.
Yeah. As it turns out, John, 5 days. Just not a ton of time. But that shit's pretty good.
That shit's pretty good. There we go. All right, I'll take it off. Yeah, we both got a little caught up in the real life of it all. The every waking hour being poured into the problem, because Games Workshop in their infinite wisdom did decide that the proper dates for a New Balance data slate happened to be 5 days before the cutoff for the WTC or for the list submission. Now, that probably wasn't what they were thinking about when they chose the dates, but it was certainly inconvenient for us.
Inconvenient is one way to describe it. It was definitely pretty rough. I think we had the only army of our 8 that did not change either dispo or just like build in some way, shape, or form was a list that we added to the team 4 days before that point.
You're thinking the Legion of Excess?
The Excess is the only one that didn't change.
The
Excess stayed as Excess Prio the whole way through, and that's it.
Yeah, the Excess was Excess Prio. The Guard was similar. I think Nemo changed
swapped
to
its 1 DP.
Yeah, swapped his 1 DP. He might have. I feel like he might have done that anyway because like, oh no. The Scions got like cheaper or something.
Yeah, like stuff changed and
it made it.
I changed to Dispo. You changed Army wholesale.
That's true. Sam changed faction. Folger changed army. Zach changed army.
Brian changed army.
Yeah, Brian changed attachments.
That's 7
attachment. Yes, it's a lot. We got a little crazy with that shit, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, there was at the time, like literally everything for all of us had changed, and there's 1,000 ways we could have looked at doing things differently. I think one of the major learnings that I had coming out of that window now post event is that probably you should look to make sure, like for absolute certain, that your dispos line up with your players' dispositions. I, through the event, found Recon to be mostly fine, but really missed the stability of Purge and what it let me do as a pilot on the table. I don't know if you had similar feelings after going from your nice patented safe take and hold and priority assets of press button, come to me pleb, switching into Recon as well. But there was definitely some of that for me, at least.
Yeah, Recon was fine, but I didn't love it. Because like my list had 13 units, and that was enough to play reconnaissance functionally.
Yeah, I had 12.
But yeah, it wasn't enough to just like casually play reconnaissance and not have to think about it. There was definitely a lot of I'd like to do this, but I don't want to be down a unit yet.
Right.
Like I don't want to give 5 intercestors for freezies just to score 4 points. Like I got to hold on to that because I can't go down a unit for nothing early.
Yep. I had I've had more than one game where I was like, oh, I could score engage, but that'll like for 4, but that'll scuff my primary later if I do that. I guess I'm going to score it for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Yeah, I mean this one was crazy. I don't know. This whole journey was crazy. We have a lot to catch up on. I want to talk about like, I want to tell people what our team comp was 1 week before list sub, because 2 weeks for list sub, we were 8 for 8 different.
Yeah.
Like I think like our practice weekend team comp.
Yep.
Wasn't the same.
No, that's what I was just talking about a minute ago, right? When I was saying that 7 things changed for us, because I was on EC Carnival Spectacle to play Purge. I was just ignoring Frenzied Host. And then I was like, or I could do it as Prio by playing, I think it was Frenzied Host at that time.
I think Carnival was
Prio.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is a totally acceptable backup plan. I know these 2 dispos. I know them well. All the maps cooperate with the things I'm trying to do. Thumbs up, smile, good to go. And you were on?
I was on Ultramarine Ceramite Sentinels, taking hold of Ultramarines. I thought it was pretty good. If you looked at Kazra Hushadar from Team Canada, Shout out to the Canadians for a really good WTC run. That build with like an entire extra unit before the Ultramarine nerfs was what I was playing, and I really liked it. I thought it was really good. And then I lost an entire unit, and I was sad about that. And at the same time, I kind of lost my take and hold slot because then
The golden
when
men.
the golden stuff happened. Folger was playing Necrons, not Custodies.
Yep, the Curse Legion build that we ended up taking was mostly written and developed by he and I.
Let's see. Brian Doherty was playing. Probably he was just like bouncing back between like 3 different CSM detachments.
Yeah, he was playing the grab bag of CSM things.
Sam was on Tyranids.
Sam was on Recon on Vanguard nodes.
Yep. Sipe was on Green Tide Orcs with I think
Tactical.
Yeah, Tactical Brigade. That makes sense. Who else? Zach Point basically just didn't have an army.
Yeah, he was playing. I mean, no, he was pretty. By the end of the practice weekend, he was somewhat comfortably on like Thint plus whatever dispo we needed.
Yeah, like
and then,
Tau was also like being.
Oh
played.
Yeah, we floated Tau briefly as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of There's just.
But
I
think even
everything.
I think even by that point, Zach was kind of already not liking Tau super much, so that was probably always going to be some level of pivot. I don't think we were ever really looking at like. I think it was unlikely that Tau made it to the event in the end.
Yeah, definitely. And then getting a nerf and a couple test games, and we were pretty.
Yeah, it was just hard to get it over the line without a dedicated pilot, right? Often the case with Tau.
Yeah, that's fair. Man, I mean, we really did change a lot. It's funny, you put 11 months of prep into a thing, and it turns out that the only reason that we're practicing is not to get it right, but it's to practice how to practice.
Yeah, just to know where to pivot, what to change, how to handle it, which spots are worth keeping, which are not. I think that in the end, I think even for like my own like health as a player for 11th, I probably won't leave the like purge, take prio circle ever again. I think I'm just gonna stay nice and comfy in those, unless for some reason one of my armies gets a crazy detachment that forces me out of that, for some reason. But it'd have to get pretty crazy. Having played all the dispos at this point, it's just so uncomfy when I leave the ones that I like.
Yeah, I could do recon again.
Yeah,
but I would need like a little more. I don't know. With recon, I feel like I either needed more durable things that I could push forward and not care about, or more cheap stuff. It felt like I was a little bit in the middle, where like one Deathwing Knight squad is like a nice, cool thing that's hard to kill. We don't just push one Deathwing Knight forward and say you couldn't possibly kill it, because obviously it's going to get pancaked if it's by itself.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I couldn't decide by the end of it if I wanted a second Deathwing Knight unit or if I wanted to turn it into 5 scout squads.
Sure. Like, yeah, that's fair. Just go forth and be everywhere.
Yeah, just go take 4 little ratlings and go throw them in the quarters.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, yeah, it was a weird primary to play, I think, at the end of the day. But the alternative did not seem possible at the time.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, there's I mean, God, there's just I didn't see a better way to do it, I guess.
Well,
I think that. Oh, go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the easiest way I could describe my end of it was that I had not scored like less than a 16 on EC, and then I switched to try disruption after the great fucking, as it were, and then I got 3 zeros, and I was like, I don't think that's the right move.
Yeah, I mean, so much of it is like it's so weird how like you would think that like the disposition would only be worth so many points, but the changes in maps and the changes in how it forces you to play the early game just cascades down everything.
It's
you really got to build for your dispo.
Yeah, just you have to so much build for your dispo. And if you do, often games will be awkward for different reasons that pull them drawish, but at least you're scoring.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, like as long as you're playing the game, you can try to get 5 turns Warhammer in. But if you're just like, yes, I have nothing to do in this disruption match other than do an action with the Defiler who will then touch the train feature. That's a dynamic shifting moment right there.
I mean, look, sometimes you're playing against what feels like 3,000 points of orcs, and It doesn't really matter what disposition you are.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
Actually, it mattered a lot what disposition I was in the Aussie round, but we can get to that when we go through the event. If I was anything other than the recon mirror, I don't think I score a point there.
Oh, that's funny. Because their orcs were recon too.
Yeah, they were speed wall.
And so you just did a couple actions and called it a day?
I engineered throwing away a Defiler, both Lord Fractors, and a Rhino to get the action off on the middle. And then hit a Rapid Ingress into a I stand still, do the action, 51 points for my natural, and that was it.
Yeah. Then the orcs were all over you, dude. It's a tide.
Yeah, I mean, they were literally everywhere. The Speedwall list has just a comical amount of things in it. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It looked crazy when you read it written out, and when you get to the table, you're like, I'm sorry, you have what? And then there's stuff coming out of reserves still. It's bananas, dude. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah,
But
so much in those.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, let's rattle off our final team comp. You know, we should actually cover that too.
Where we finally landed. So you've all heard the 8 things that we had before the changes, and now we're going to put John on the spot and see if he can do the comp without a reference sheet.
1, easy. 2, I'll put my hands up just that you know I'm being honest about it. So we'll start off. I was playing Dark Angels Reconnaissance. Anthony was playing Emperor's Children Reconnaissance.
Yep.
Then we had, and Anthony was on a Carnival triple crab build. I was on triple Vengeance with a couple other support speeders, the Lion, some Ravenwing stuff, 1 Death Knight unit, bit of a trash. It was pretty good. Mr. Sipe, okay. It was okay. Brian Sipe switched to Equatorial plus Freebooter Crew, yep. Which is a surprise because we thought that Freebooter Crew was just like not in the running at all. But the new Equatorial detachment turned out was possible to take take Freebooter Crew. That was still taking hold for the orcs. Folger did a last minute pivot onto Custodes, thank God. And turns out that was a good idea. Oh, dude, the screenshots of me being like, hey, buddy, how about you try 18 Allures? And he's like, ugh, why would you say that?
The absolute hubris of every single team we played post pod to be like, nah, our demons, they are built different than Liam VSL. We got it this time. Pow, wham. Just every round.
Time. It's the most unbelievable part to me. So Folger was on Lions the Emperor and whatever the other one is for taking hold.
Moratoria.
Yeah, might have the moratorium. For more taking hold Custodes. And then we had Sam Pope running a priority asset, Pact Bound Zealot, CSM, Double Crab, Abaddon, 2 Venom Crawler, a little bit of trash. Then Brian Doherty was playing also priority assets. He was doing a Legion of Excess, Double Keeper, 18 Fiend, Single Epitome Mask. And then our last 2 are Disruption and Purge. So we had Wesley, Nemo the Fish, playing Disruption Guard. That was what we were calling Siege Head, which is Siege Regiment and Bridgehead. Basically, oodles of guardsmen, but instead of them just being Cadians, there was actually a good amount of Scions and like heavy weapon teams of las cannons and stuff like that. So not quite the 200 models, maybe like 130, and they were better.
Yeah.
And then finally we had the Cursed Cron, so Cursed Legion plus Sky Shroud. Sky Shroud.
Yep.
Cool. Which is Purge the Foe Necrons, run by the ever smiling Zach Point.
The shining beacon of joy.
I loved how happy he was chewing glass.
Yeah. I mean, me and Zach were the grim soldiers of the event. Big smiles, low scores.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach put up some good ones. I mean,
that's true.
He put up the 17 into Italy was, I think, the most
huge.
Impressive. Yeah, dude, it sure felt good when we were in the mines on that one.
I love an early hero round from a new guy. That stuff rocks, man.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, all the new guys put in, and the new players were Wesley, Doherty, and Zach Point, and all 3 of them had rounds where they were doing something real important for the team.
Yep.
It's certainly easy to say like, oh, Nemo was the hero of the round because Nemo was the last one to finish in 2 different rounds where we barely hit the threshold that we needed to hit.
Yep.
But I could certainly point to the new guys and say they did some really good stuff there too.
Yep. I mean, every round. Like we had a couple nail biters in there.
Yeah.
So we started the event in a pretty healthy spot. Like we went into the event having hung out as a team a bunch before the event,
Mm-hmm.
which is not necessarily how that has gone every year that we have been at the WTC.
Yeah, fair.
Um,
But we were in a pretty good mood because Folger had won War Masters, and we had
yes,
all spent some time cheering him on together.
the tall golden man, dude, the beacon of hope,
Yeah.
slaying the demons of the top four to get to the dub.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, this entire weekend was just like it was like Folger wrote the script.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, like, oh, like seriously, it's like, hey, how do you want the week to go? I'd like to win War Masters,
Yep.
and I'd like to 20-0 Liam as revenge. Also, I'd like to be the team's top scorer. It's like, yes, Folger, we get it. Just, yeah, this is what I would like to happen.
Folger wrote the season, dude.
Yeah, seriously. Dude, I still laughing that we were like 2 weeks removed from him switching back to Custodies.
Yeah. I mean,
shout out to Nas on that one.
Yeah, Nas did play against you guys at the Art Warehouse with 18 Alaris and not realize that he had given away the game.
Oh, I immediately was like, Folger, you should do this.
Yeah. Yep.
When it switched to Taken Hold is when I think it became like an easy thing.
Yes.
Right, because they made it. It was Purge the Foe, and we didn't love that, and then it switched from Purge the Foe into Great Fucking, and it switched over to Taken Hold, and we were like, oh, we do like that actually.
Yeah, that's nice and stable. We can do that.
Yeah, all that had to happen was I had to switch off of Taken Hold Space Marines,
which you were planning to do anyway.
Was fine because there was a new reconnaissance option directly in front of me, and that worked out well.
Yep, well, worked out well for you.
Yeah, Dark Ninjas are cool, right?
Yeah.
Got to paint up a new lion.
That's true, dude. The new lion did rip. That model is cool as fuck.
Yeah, he did die like a punk a couple times to disastrous effect, but whatever.
Look, he's got a weakness for the sisters, dude. But yeah, I think that I would say that our comp was imperfect, but I think that at the end of the day, having the perfect comp was never going to happen on a 5-day window.
Yeah. That's definitely how we went into it, was like, all right, we're not going to get this perfectly. So like, I think the only thing that we switched to is either things that were brand new as concepts, like Equatorial Horde or new Dark Angel Company of Hunter, was just like, this didn't exist before, but it is in front of us and clearly powerful, so we're just going to run with it.
Yep.
Or it was something that we had a lot of experience with. Like when Folger switched to Custodies, Folger's played Lions. We can get Folger to learn what an Alaris does in time, and it'll be okay. Zach then immediately pivots to Cursed Crons because we had a concept of it as a team. Sam pivoted to Pact Bound because we had a concept of it as a team. I don't think we went into that thinking, oh, well, maybe Pact Bound and Cursed Crons are the 2 best armies left as part of the 8 best armies game. It was more of a, well, we think we know what it does, and with 5 days to go, it was spend 3 days testing where we were, realize it doesn't work, and now we've only got 2 days left, and with 2 days left, it was like, we got to just take something that is a somewhat known quantity so that we at least know what we're getting out of it and what we can do with it.
Right. In the end, could we have probably taken like the Norns or something in that prio slot to get Sam back to like playing bugs? Perhaps, but it felt real risky at the time. And Sam himself was like, I don't think it's going to live, man. Like, you don't walk a Norn into the middle and just walk out unscathed always. And in games where that doesn't work out, that shit is sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, and fair. And so just getting a known quantity, getting something that we knew the limits of, and we at least had some ideas of a matrix for, and we'd rep it as much as we can. But I mean, if we had put in like a Prio Norn list, was I think the other like serious contender for.
We thought about Bile, but
yeah, but like for in the what could we pivot Sam to, I really think that that was the best bet, because like we just would have been starting from scratch on a Norn matrix. We had nothing.
Yep.
Right, like it would have just been a little bit of whimsy and a dream, which maybe that would have worked.
That worked to get him through border control.
Yeah, that's true. Oh God, you have to tell that story now. I mean, I think we have to, right?
No, we can leave
No.
that one to the
All right,
if you find us in
we'll get
person.
Sam. We'll get Sam on sometime, and he'll tell the
Yeah.
story.
Well, we have to have all the starters on now to do this podcast victory lap, so you get to interview everyone
True.
about their experience.
Yeah, seems just and fair.
But
So yeah,
did you have anything after the event for your list that you were like, oh, if X was Y, it could have been better?
I was really torn on that. I honestly think that what I needed the most was more reps. The Samael unit and the 6 speeders were just gonna stay. That was never going anywhere.
Sure.
I really liked the one Deathwing Knight. I really liked Azrael and his boys. After that, the only like moving parts were a Tech Marine, 5 intercessors, 5 scouts, and the Lion. I wasn't going to cut the 5 scouts or the 5 intercessors. The Tech Marine's actually kind of a G. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was helpful. And the Lion's a baller.
The Lion is a bum, but he's a bum, dude. But I think that, like, honestly, the Lion probably would have been better if I just had, like, an extra week of games. It was honestly what, like,
it was
if you gave me
using the Lion rather than the
yeah,
Lion
like
himself.
if you gave me a chance to run it back now, I'd be like, all right, well, I now have 10 more games. Like, I played 10 games in Europe, 3 practice games, 7 for the tournament. And I played a bunch of practice in between list submission. And honestly, I would just run it back with the same thing and 10 extra games under my belt and say, but I can do it better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where I think I just need to be a little bit better about acknowledging that the Lion is a bum and just playing around him being a bum.
And then if he pops off, then hell yeah, dude.
No. Every time my opponent put 2 units into the Lion, he died.
That's sad.
And it just doesn't matter what they are. Like, it doesn't. 1 unit cannot touch the Lion. It is impossible. 2 units, dead. Like, the Lion gets charged by 6 Ophidian destroyers that pops a stratagem and dev wounds. He goes from 10 to like 7 wounds remaining, and obviously just goes like
and kills all of them.
Obviously, because he's that guy.
Sure.
And then the alternative is that he gets shot by a Scorpius disintegrator that is hitting on 6s because it's ballistic skill 4 in combat, shooting into cover, and then a Tech Priest Engine Seer. You know, the little derpy guy who's holding the axe side of his? Him. That and a Scorpius hitting on 6s, 10-0. Doesn't matter what the 2 units are, dude. You just need 2 units.
What are you gonna do? You know,
just one of those, dude. Just like any 2 units kills the Lion, any 1 unit doesn't. So I just need to like accept that the Lion is actively never the front, even late game. Because I'd always get in trouble when I would be like, I just did a bunch of damage to you, and now the Lion's in front of you. And then pocket change kills him. And I'm like, nuggets.
Yeah.
Like every time I tried to kill my opponent so dead that they could no longer kill the Lion, he found a new and creative way to die. And every time the Lion, every time Johnson just like cleaved a skirmish unit in half with 100% consistency while something was in front of him, he was completely fine.
Sure. Right.
Yeah. There's just like genuinely, I was like,
that was how Arna used him against me, and I did not kill the Lion.
Yeah. Like in games where the Lion lived, he did reap a mighty tally.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Conveniently, I did win all of those games.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
I bet.
Yeah. So it's a lessons learned on that one. But I think I'd probably just run it back same list, honestly.
That's fair.
Your turn,
I
buddy.
have changes that I would make.
Yeah.
I think that there is a decent argument that we probably should have put more effort into coterie in the lead up. Obviously on a 5-day window, we don't get exactly to know that.
Yeah.
But I think either that or, and the harder one would be the second one, arguing that I should try and take a take and hold slot through the brutes and play just kind of something similar to what I played anyway, and just not have been frenzied host. The last bastion of something we would also have never done is a 3-player shuffle where I pick up the Krons, I stay in my purge lane, you go to EC and pick whatever lane you want, and then Mr. Point gets to play his Marines. But there is less than 0 chance we make that call in a 5-day window. So I don't think that's worth beating ourselves up about.
Yeah. Did you like if you ran it back, would you still do the triple crab or would you go 2 and stuff?
I was happy with 3 in general. It's just it didn't line up with the dispo, right? The only dispo it lined up less with is fucking disruption, right?
Yeah, sure.
Um,
That makes sense.
but the I think in the end taking 3 was fine. I think the only way that I would have not taken 3 is to take like the problem is like the third one cannot hide. Objectively, that is true.
Mhm.
However, once you have 2, anything else also can't hide. So there's an upper limit to what you can actually do with those points and still achieve something. At
Mhm.
least with the way that it ended up going, such with, my round 4 pairing being a Dawn game against Dark Angels. That was always just like well, shit will die in my DZ if I go second. So
Did
hopefully
you go
not too
second?
much of it. I did not. I went first, so I got a 6.
There you go.
Because I had a Lord Exultant squad just refuse to kill a Land Speeder Vengeance, and that was hilarious.
Mm.
But whatever, man. Like that's not why I got the 6. I think that matchup is a little disfavored, kind of in general, and it did not go well from either way. The Defiler that full shot a Invader ATV and left it on 2 was also part of that experience. That didn't matter for the score, but it did hurt my feelings.
Oh.
But yeah, I think there was definitely other stuff that would have been worth doing. I think if given infinite time, like from release of 11th, the slate had been out, I maybe could have like kicked enough dust up on a purge eaters build to just do what I ended up doing anyway, which was kind of just going beneath the wheels for love of God and country with a smile.
Mhm.
But it's hard to
Someone's got to
say.
do it.
Yeah, it's hard to say in the end. Do I think ultimately that we ended up using EC the way that we planned to? No, but sometimes you get to the event, the block's hot, you got to do what you got to do. I don't know if you have any other feelings about that, where that landed in the end, but it was like we got there and there's only so much Dawn you can avoid.
Yeah. No, I think that where we kind of ended up landing was in this weird thing where the pairings was very different from 10th edition. The meta was very different from 5 days ago. And so we knew we weren't going in perfect. And so we kind of stopped trying to be perfect and just try to be like,
Yeah,
good where we could be and safe where we couldn't be.
right.
I know that we got a lot of smack talk off the internet for our PBZ list. I
And
really
it was
don't
just
regret it.
it was just good.
It
Like,
was good. It was good enough, and we knew what we had.
yeah,
And a lot of other countries, I think, brought things that were probably better but less known quantities, and so those things occasionally just got zeroed in
yep,
the wrong round.
yeah,
And Sam did not get zeroed in the wrong round, and that
that's
was
right.
very important.
The timing matters.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that the with infinite time we probably get a better pairings plan where we recognize, hey, no one gets to always veto Dawn or to always veto
Right.
this. But at the end of the day, we were always choosing who is eating it, right?
Yeah.
Like Anthony never ate shit and we were surprised.
No, I mean, like we went into one could argue that we were surprised in the Italy round, right? Because
Yeah.
I did have that matrix quite well, and based on the practice games, it had gone quite well. But I hadn't run into the bounce plus them having more shooting because I had been practicing against the French list, which somewhat notably had quite a bit less shooting than the Italian one.
Mhm.
So when I
Yeah, fair.
didn't quite kill his pigs, but did get the gas squad, and I was like, okay, bit of a bummer, but I do have 2 exultants and 1 defiler left. I should be okay. And then he just shot all that to death with what was left, and I was like, oh, no longer okay.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Bad shit right now. So like little stuff like that, right? Learning like, oh, okay, like it doesn't actually matter the number of pigs. The pigs are annoying to me, but they're not ultimately, if I'm careful, they're not what gets me. It's
Mhm.
the shooting, the this, the that, right? But
Yeah.
I do think the rest of the time when it was like Anthony, fucking Godspeed beneath these wheels, come back with points. We didn't really have a good answer to Dark Angels, right? Particularly not the plane. We didn't really have.
No, No, we
Good
didn't
answer,
really.
Speed Law.
I didn't see the plane version coming, and Dark Angels came in just in time for me to innovate it, and not enough time for me to try to get the team tech into it.
Right.
That honestly felt like the vibe for most teams.
Yeah.
Most teams that we played against, it felt like their Dark Angel plan was, let's go figure it out.
Right. Yeah, there was a
You know,
lot of
like
doing it live into the DA.
yeah,
I mean, you
but
can see it like even the last round, right? Like France very clearly got caught flat-footed by it. Like either their data was bad or they just gave Arna what they could and he scored a 20.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, who did Arna play round 7?
their Votan.
Oh, that makes
He
okay.
just went first into their Votan and was like plain goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, I played Votan twice and went second both times, and I
Yeah.
firmly believe that going first was
It was,
a differential increase.
yeah. Yeah, it cannot be good for them.
Oh God, especially with two of the planes
Yeah, the
too.
turn one ingress planes. I didn't love those, by the way. That shit stung.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think like what I ended up doing for the team was ultimately not 40K based as much. I was there to just like tank losses better than our boys who are used to winning every game they play. And that was fine.
It's a valid role.
Yeah.
Someone's just got to do that shit. It's
Yep.
tough. It sucks, but like, yeah,
I found it easier than I thought it might be. Just because for so many years my job on the team had been to like, rush them and crush them.
Mhm.
But the change, especially with more time in, had felt totally fine to me. I kind of got it now, like because for years of Typhus and Pumbaa doing this for stat check, right? I was like, how do they enjoy getting just fucking clocked? And now I get it. But yeah, it was why don't we go through the rounds, dude?
Yeah, let's do it. So we had our pod, which had a sneaky tier 1 in it, but
Yeah.
our pod was Estonia, Bulgaria, and then Italy.
Yep.
And the Estonia round had we had a pretty good opening. Them Estonia, this was their first team competing as a country, so they were a tier 4. We had a lot of comfortable wins early, so the round was relatively safe. We dropped one game, I think, and Sam went into Salamanders with his PBZ, and he was kind of trending for I went second, I'm probably going to lose this close, because they staged on him before he could stage on them. And in 11th edition, that means like you kind of don't score primer and you're just going to like lose close. And
Yep.
so he decided to full send because tiebreakers meant that game wins were more important than diff of a loss.
Yep.
And that unfortunately did not go well for Sam. But this is going to open up the common theme of it's okay because the homies had his back
There are 8 of us.
for a reason.
Yep.
So the Estonia round was fun, but it ended up being a quite safe round win.
Yep. Super awesome opponents. The person that I played for their team was a Merc. He was great. He lost a DDA from full in Overwatch and wore that with a smile, which is not. I can't promise that I would have been as magnanimous about that.
Yeah.
I
You would
like to
hear
think
my complaints if it happened to me.
Yeah, I like to think I would have been cool, but no promises. That shit was sad.
Mm-mm. No, I'd be pretty mad about that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he was down to 5 and I handed him 2 autocannon saved and he failed both. And I was like, damn, dude. And then he was like, I will CP it and still failed. And I was like, damn.
That's tough. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yikes. We quickly went into Bulgaria.
Yes.
What I'm gonna say, actually, I'm gonna actually ask you about a lot of these rounds. Because of these 7 rounds, I was on stream for 4 of them.
Okay.
Because we had there is
God, was it that many? I guess it was.
I was on stream 4 times.
Yeah.
There was a bit of some a live messaging about what you had to do if you were on stream coming in from the WTC judges, and that made it a little bit complicated. And so, given the temperature, given the fact that several of our guys were new to WTC, for the first 3 days, when they came to us for a stream game, I just kind of pushed everyone out of the way and got on it.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be me.
I would say that this is probably the second hottest WTC has ever been while we were there.
Yeah.
It was not as bad as last year, but few things I think could be while running what is a legal event. Um,
This was the hottest I'd ever been in Mechelen by an unfortunate margin. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie. One of my takeaways from me personally was for the first time I didn't feel like I was in shape for WTC,
yeah,
and that's a little tough because like I I haven't been working out as much as I used to, and it's been a couple of years of that. That's not a recent development, but
sure,
I still like mentally think of myself as like an in shape person, and I think
sure,
like I really had to come to peace with like, yeah, John, that was 8 years ago.
right,
You have burned through any and all goodwill that your muscles may have had left. You are
yeah,
just not in shape anymore. Man, I mean, did you see me in between the Bulgaria and the Italy round?
no,
I was weak in the knees.
struggling.
I was struggling. I think I drank 5 bottles of water in between Bulgaria and Italy.
Yikes, dude,
Both of
that's
those
a
games
lot.
were on stream, and I really that was a lot. It was
Well,
tough.
yeah, that's rough, dude. I There's a part of me that like a little bit loves the suffering of like the hall being hotter than
Mhm.
comfortable. Like I like that it adds to the grit and gristle of the event a bit,
I
but it is
usually
objectively suboptimal.
I usually agree with you, and this was the first time where I felt disadvantaged because normally it's like, oh, I'm from Florida. I've been outside in Florida my whole life. I've been running, you know, half marathons in Florida in the summer. I got this. Do you have this? And like for once, it felt like I didn't have the advantage. I was like,
Yeah,
oh no,
yeah, it's tough,
I
dude.
need to go out. I need to run more. It's like, oh, that was uh, Andrew is perking up somewhere, but
Yeah, I know. Andrew's super excited that you're
dude,
gonna get
it
back into
was
running.
tough. The physical aspect of the grind was real. To me, the physical aspect was actually harder than Laban. I don't know why, but I also remember sweating more in Laban because I remember just
Yeah,
being disgustingly drenched in Laban.
it
I don't know.
Yeah, I the Laban was much worse in my opinion. It was like suffocating in the hall on top of being hot. Like it was, and it smelled real bad. That was tough. Laban was rough. I don't think it
Yeah,
was as bad
no.
as Laban, but the general heat index was rough. We also didn't have rounds go late like we did this year, right? We had what
Oh yeah.
two separate rounds go
We had 2 separate rounds, like go half an hour late, and end of day
right,
2 and day 3.
which is like and the last round, right?
Oh yeah. I don't think anyone was playing, but we were all watching
Right. That's what I'm
late.
saying though. We were,
Yep. Yeah, that was the thing.
yeah, we no easy path for the Team USA victory year.
Mm-mm.
Um, but we made it through Estonia. We got a night to sleep. That was tight. Loved that.
Yeah.
First year as a unit that we got like reasonable adjacent bedtimes.
Yeah, we made a real conscious point this year of getting people to bed at reasonable hours. I don't think we ever were up as a team past like 12:15.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Which honestly very very good by our normal standards.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than normal. Um,
I mean, I've
go
been
to
down
day
there
3.
for the years that we're doing pairings at 1:30 and shit. Like,
Psh, I before the England round in year 3 when we like barely beat England right before we played France.
yep,
Year 3, yeah. I was doing pairing practice past 3 a.m. because
yep,
that's what because I don't know if you remember this, but when everyone woke up, I was like, guys, I have figured out the way. The
yeah,
only way out of this stupid matrix is that we pin Manny in between these two armies.
and that's it.
And that was like it took me incredibly late in the night to figure that out. That was the only way out because everything
Look,
else was
man,
just darkness.
sometimes you gotta struggle and find a way.
Yeah. No, much earlier bedtimes this year, and it worked out well.
Yes.
So we played Bulgaria round 2. Another really fun round. I played against an Ember Children player on stream, and by the time I was done with my game, about more than half the games were done, and I don't have much of the story other than by the time I was done, the coaches were like, "Everything's good," and
Right.
then I have a final score. That's kind of it.
that was pretty much the round experience of playing it also, except my opponent said one of the funniest things anyone's ever said, which is he got all of his spell count like costs right. And I was like, oh, dude, you're the first Thousand Suns player I've ever played against that gets that right. And I was like, normally they, cheat a little bit. And he was like, that's because I'm a Death Guard player. And it was super funny. He was like a Death Guard man that was just playing T-Suns. Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, it's the only way you get the T-Suns rules right, by not being
That's right. By not being a T-Suns player, dude.
Yeah, so after Bulgaria we go into Italy, and I think this is when it started to get squirrely.
Yeah, so I mean, going into this round, right? We just watched Italy put up more points on Estonia than we did,
And
they
Bulgaria.
also they had also in the round prior beaten Bulgaria harder than we did. So we had a real like, that doesn't trend awesome. So we need to be locked in now, and we have a lunch break to prep for this. Focus up.
Yeah, because like we didn't really like. I mean, we knew Italy was going to be good. We had prepared for them, but we didn't have the comparison of our Estonia round to their Estonia round and our Bulgaria to their Bulgaria until after both rounds were over, and we were just like, "Wait, what?
Hold on."
Yeah, them getting us in both rounds on that was a big like, whoa.
Well, it's not like we could just be like, oh, the mission made it more like easy to score diff that round than we played them, because missions don't work like that anymore.
Just the same round.
Yeah, so I don't know,
Oh. Yeah, I think we were relatively confident in pairings with this one, and you can probably tell this better than I did because I was once again on stream and all I had was, hey, why is Anthony walking around so early? But we had a tough start on this one.
So the round starts, and I'm paired into orcs. I've played this matchup a fair amount.
Mm-hmm.
You put a Tormentor squad over in Guam. You may chase it with something. Maybe something happens. Maybe something doesn't. You try and get a line on one of the pig squads. You probably lose one, maybe two defilers in the shake. Okay, you get up, you get that early advantage, get rid of a bunch of their trash. Thumbs up, proceeding in a good place. I line up to shoot the pigs, who have cover. And I'm like, all right, there we go. Pow! Shoot the pigs. -1 to wound. Normal business. This activation normally kills like 3 dudes. Sometimes you get 4 if you get a little lucky. I do 1 damage. And I'm like, okay. It's not the start we wanted. My man hops out these transports, ships it uptown, connects on all the charges. I lose 2 defilers, and I lose some other ancillary bullshit that didn't matter. I get out of the transport. I unloaded my remaining defiler into Gaz's squad, because if I can get Gaz gone, the rest of the game can work out. I run in and I do like a 4-step precision possessed blade activation. And I leave Gaskell on 1. And the fight on death kills all of the fractors. And that is bad. Now, normally at this point, I would have a dead Gaz. I'd kind of proceed from here. I'd have infractors. We'd kind of onwards and upwards from there. Not so much this time. He hits me again with a second wave with the pig squad that I now went uncrippled, which was now not worth overwatching, which has some pretty catastrophic consequences. That cleans up one flank. He pulls a bunch of flash kits in from reserve. He shoots the flash kits unit from reserve into my defiler that is in combat with Gaz and does 16 damage to it. And I'm like, okay. And I get a 0 from there. The bottom falls out. Bad news bears. Wrecked. I turn to my left, and about 4 minutes into me like cleaning up the broken remains of my army and picking my teeth off the floor, Brian Doherty also gets a 0. Opponent took a big play. Brian swung back, bounced, didn't work out, died. Welcome to 11th edition, baby. So we start the round down 40. For those of you less familiar with team play, the Italians at this point have 6 games to find 46 points, which is, under most normal circumstances, fairly achievable. I
They could even find 35 points and still fuck our day
and
up.
still draw us, right? And still, make our event uncomfortable from there. Benefit of hindsight, the event probably would have been a lot easier if we had a drawn pod and then just cruised with wins to the end. But that's okay. So I do a quick walk through the tables, and I'm like, I have watched all of our players play through the whole year. I am probably the most active person as far as watching games go in the Discord to keep
For sure.
see how people are doing, keep an eye on things, look at what play patterns look like, what they look like when they're winning, what they look like when they're losing. So I do a lap through the tables, and I look at Brian's game, and I look at Sipes' game, I look at John's game, I look at the Fish's game, and I just take 20 minutes to look at all the games, and then I fuck off to get an ice cream because I knew that even though I had gotten slaughtered, and so did Doherty, we were going to be fine. Now, the coaches thought I was insane. They looked at me like I had 7 heads because we were not projecting a round win at the point that I had left to go get an ice cream. But how did the round end, John?
We did get 101 out of those 6 other games. So 101 to 19 on the 6 other games. With that, we kept it to 101 to 59, which is a perfectly normal end result if those scores had come in at different timings.
Yep. And that is why there's 8 of us.
That's why there's 8 of us. That was, again, saying of the weekend was, that's why there's 8 of us. Every time someone ate shit and died.
Fell. So be it.
Yep. We brought 8.
Some of us had armies with less room for error than others. Mr. Fish, we all know him as the guard man. He's the, king commissar. That list is a house of cards built over a campfire. And if you do make the minor mistakes that lead to it, you see, the results that happened in Nemo were rounds where Nemo had bad shit happen, right? There's only so much resiliency built into that. And this round, it was me and Doherty that got the bad side of it. But not all of us.
Not all of us. Yeah, I mean, that one I had a good win into Votan. We had plenty of other good wins across the table. And so it worked out. And then we're 3-0 and we're out of pod.
Yep. Just the way we drew it up.
Just the way we drew it up. So that puts us into Germany next.
Yes.
And Germany with a night of sleep. Germany
God.
was, yeah, thank God. Germany was one of the teams we had prepared for the most. Funny enough, we really just hit the teams that we prepared for the most.
Yes.
So yay us. But Germany went quite well. I think that, and again, I was on stream, so I didn't really know how I was going until I was done. This is my 3rd consecutive stream game, and after this, I took a little bit of a break of okay, this has been fun, guys, but yeah, stop. So I think that we my understanding was that things basically started well and kind of went well, and our losses we held on to our guts, and some of our wins we were able to push. The basic story that I have of how the round was going was the coaches would keep coming up and asking, and I was playing against Tim Snyder, I was playing against Votan. I had just played against Votan same detachments, which was great, really good warm up for me to prepare to play against the Votan in Tim Snyder.
Yeah, the man, the legend, dude.
I will say he lived up to the legend. Tim was quite good. But he was playing a fair army and I wasn't. So and I figured out what his army did the last round. So I was like, all right, I think I got this. And the real thing was just that as the coaches would come over and project, and my coach would come over and ask, I would always say yeah, I'm on Matrix. I'm Matrix +1 or whatever. And then his coaches would come over and he would say, Matrix maybe -1. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And then the coach would be like, well, we need you to push. And I'd be like, excellent. Tim's about to take risks. This is good.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I love just hearing the opponent's coach come tell their player, we need you to push. Because then my opponent looks at them and says, I am pushing as hard as I can currently.
Yeah,
there's no
this
more.
is all I got left.
Yeah, like there's no more push to give, and I just get to look at the coach and be like, which I
Yeah.
definitely got to do that against France as well, where someone, I think Jean-Luc, came over and asked Arnaud if he could push, and it's a story for later, but there was no push to be done.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
I mean, it
yeah.
was a pretty similar thing in my game with Mayashi, honestly, because he had predicted that like hardcore 20-0 on top of 2 or whatever. And then it just slowly, like grains of sand slipped from his grasp into the 10 that it ended as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Germany round went well. I think that we ended up I was happy with our pairings with them, and I think we matched up roster to roster quite well into Germany. I think
I think
our
so.
comp was quite favorable into theirs. For the strength of Germany, because we know that they're a really good team, our matrix was probably the easiest one that we paired with out of pod. It just felt like we just like happened to on accident have the right answers for the things they were doing.
Outside of their Dark Angels, which we didn't have awesome answers for,
Yeah,
but
that's true. Yeah, throw you under the bus, have fun.
I mean, he picked Dawn, and I was like, okay, well, if I go second, I die anyway. So,
yep. Yeah. But that one went relatively well. We put up 101, which, especially given the context of how Germany would then perform for the rest of the event, was really,
extremely
really good.
strong start.
Very, very impressed at how the team did on that one. So that was a good confidence boost before we went into round 5 into Australia, where we have very weird armies and we don't know what's going on.
I had thought before we had played both teams that Australia was the biggest risk to the run because historically they're an extremely powerful team and they are led by Eric. And we did not have a firm grasp on what they were trying to do with these armies, I would say.
Yeah. No, really didn't. And so we were just trying to make it work.
Yep.
And this one was just razor close. It felt very quickly like we were never in danger of losing. But
yeah, I mean, we had an early big win from Folger that was offset by me scoring a 1, but still 21 across the 2. That's a pretty good start.
Way. And we had a number of tables going well. I think a couple of things kind of started to get worse as it went on. Like I was projecting 14 to 15, and then it dropped into a late 10 due to I didn't actually get to finish my game because we had a clock discrepancy between my clock and the round timer.
Yeah.
And I was very much playing to use all of my time. And then I had I got swooped in on, and it's like, yeah, you can't finish. And I was like, oh, I really need these 2 turns to score points here, folks.
What have you done to me? Why did you do this?
Yeah. I made better by the fact that my opponent was a gem.
Yes, Jordan's awesome.
Jordan was wonderful. But I was definitely hoping for more and reporting that I was going to get more, and then that kind of stumbled on us. And then it all came down to, this was the first round where it kind of all came down to the fish.
Yep.
Because Nemo was the last game to finish, and he came away with the magical exact 6 points required to get us across the finish line. 86.
Not a draw into Australia in round 5, baby.
No, I would never do that.
Rectifying the sins of 22, 1 round at a time. Defeat Germany. Beat the Australians. Forward.
Yep. And so quite happy with that. And then Sipe and I went to the ice cream parlor in the fish market near Bar Popular, and we got 4 big tubs of ice cream and a bunch of bowls.
That shit rocked.
Because it was very hot. We had 1 day to go, and I knew that I had to ask the team to go all out, even though they were hot, sweaty, and tired. And because I was incredibly proud of how the team had done putting 2 wins in. Win to Germany, win to Australia. Those were, those were 2 of the teams that we had most looked at as these guys are legit and can kill us.
Somewhat notably, our round went late, and then the Sunday, the early day. So we started walking home from the hall at 9:30 p.m. and had to be back at the hall like 9 hours later.
Yeah, you'd be back by 7:30.
Yeah.
Which since it was a 7:30 start, I'd asked everyone to get there by 7, which is tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's a
We
tough
like
ask.
had not done pairings practice. I mean, walked out the hall at 9:30.
Yeah, not when we got back to the hotel.
No.
So we just kind of like got ice cream, gave it to the team, said, "Hey everyone, you did great. Ice cream is for winners." And then we spent like 30 minutes preparing for France and we went to bed.
Yep.
Maybe we should have done more.
That
But
was the amount of time that was available to the souls stuck doing it.
yeah, I mean it was and this was a big part of like the philosophy of the year was like because I was super tempted to like stay up till 2 or 3 a.m. preparing for France because it was like we knew France was coming. We know it's here. Oh,
Yep.
hello, cat. Um, but I was really trying to like stick to the guns of what we had said was most important, which is take care of the team. Like mental health matters. Don't kill yourself for this. Go have fun. And so we just went and bought the team ice cream instead of doing pairings prep.
Yep.
And it worked. So like like maybe we obviously we're not going to get the result that we wanted in the France round, but
Pretty
gosh
fucking
darn it,
close.
pretty close. Yeah. So we play France round 6. We felt really good about pairings.
Yep.
Pairings went really well by our matrix. Now, some games did not go according to matrix. I think it's fair to say that France had some things that they wanted as well. But France was kind of the opposite of Italy, where it was coming up golden the first half. It was coming up really well.
I mean, Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, our first 4 games done, I think were like 19, 15, 14, 11, 10. Oh, that's right, because you're one of them. So we were up big, and then the next 2 that came in were very reasonable. Like we got like a 10 and a 9 out of the next 2. And so I think we hit 6 games done, and then we had like 30 minutes before the next game would finish. So for those 30 minutes, we had 6 games done, and we were parked on 77.
Yeah, we're 78 or something like that. It was just like so close.
Yeah, and 77 is we're 9 points away from a win. And neither of the 2 tables that are left are going great, but it was Saipan and Wesley, and we were really hoping that we had 9 points from at least one of those tables, let alone from them combined.
Right.
So we really thought we had them for a bit there, and we did not. Because Olivier and Tanker are their last 2 players. So admittedly, we had 2 good players left. They had 2 good players left. Olivier and Tanker combined for 36 points to heroically bring it back to a draw.
Yep.
Shout out to France. That's pretty impressive.
It was crazy. I mean,
we almost had them.
We were so close.
I know.
And based on the way my game went, that was sketchy. We all knew the CSM list had coin flip elements to it. And I got a little too rowdy spending CP to try to like make plays open up early to try to like, keep him back, set up a reasonable score. That did not work out the way that I was planning it to. And it meant that I went to his top of 2 with 1 CP instead of 2, which meant that the list that has a fair amount of reroll charges access went for 5 9s in his go turn, and he hit 3.
That's a not unreasonable number, honestly.
Stranded a Mutilator squad, stranded Kravik and the Terminators. I really couldn't ask for much more than what ended up happening to happen. I mean, if one more Mutilator fails it, then, massive blowout win in my favor, but they only fail so many 9s, right? That was like 10 instances of trying.
Yeah.
So
there's a bunch of rerolls in there. I get it.
Yeah. So I had to throw the brakes on pretty quick. I lost 2 Defilers to his drop turn, which meant that I had to close this game out with 1 Defiler, a possessed Blade Lord Infractor, a regular Lord Infractor, and the shit in my pockets. And thankfully, CSM and most of the things in my opponent's list are from 2025. So a handful of plasma guns with sustained gets rid of most of the small shit somewhat efficiently.
Yeah,
And then the
fair.
possess blade was damage 3, and that was really helpful for a bunch of these fucking units. And then I just let Kravik have his natural. I didn't even pretend. I was like, that natural, all you big dog. I'm not going over there again. This defiler is backing up, and I'm gonna shoot you until you run out of models, and then I can score some points. And because of there was some like minor things where like better positioning probably would have saved me a lot of headache. So I didn't like get all the action. Like he stopped me from doing the action on one of the 2 middle objectives twice. But I eventually got there and got him done, and that's how we got a 10 because I was doing much better on secondary than he was because I was just able to be more dynamic with my army in ways that he wasn't, and I drew better cards. And then at the end of the day, it was still just recon and purge, and that mission is a dumpster fire. So
That it is, yeah. God, I played a lot of Recon versus Purge.
yeah, I mean, I had the French, 2 of the French coaches and 2 of our coaches after the game came over to me and was like, that was an incredible performance. We really thought you were screwed. Good job on the 10. Because on turn 2, before he decided to go for the play, he called over John Liu and was like, I have a line. If I hit it, 20-0 right now. If I don't, maybe I get 5. And without asking a second person, John Liu was like, do it. And I was like, okay. My just having woken up 4 hours of sleep, having ass, was not ready for the French rush down as well as I probably could have been. But we got a 10, and that shit mattered.
Got a 10. Mine was much more tame than that. I was playing against Cursed Kron Necrons. I matrix that as like a 12 to 13 if I go second, and much better if I go first. I go second because I would second my first 6 games of the tournament.
Yeah.
And it was just a very nice, calm, I'm gonna kill him piece by piece while trying to deny his ability to kill me, and I'm gonna try to get a small win. And it's just one of those things where every battle round I was like, all right, I'm trending a 13. How do I turn this into trending a 14? And the next battle round, it's, well, I'm trending a 14. How do I turn this into trending a 15? As I'm just trying to kind of carve off like 1 diff a turn from the Necron obelisk.
Yeah.
There's a couple cool moments in the game though. One was that my opponent went first, and Arnaud. So I didn't even realize this. Apparently the Night Scythe is a drop pod and it can come in turn 1. Had no idea. I haven't played against the Night Scythe like ever.
That's tough, dude.
The Night Scythe just drops in top of 1. I'm like, oh, that can happen. Drops in, deposits 3 Locust Heavy Destroyers onto my expansion, which was the tempting target for top of 1, and they shoot a land speeder. And between that, the little Psycho Phantasmamancer grenade thing, and the Night Scythe, he does kill the land speeder. And so he consecrates an objective. I'm like, oh, I was really hoping you wouldn't consecrate an objective top of 1 because I was planning on you not scoring primary for the next 3 battle rounds.
Yep.
Fair enough. So he just gets the consecrate, gets the tempting target. I'm like, oh, that's like a
hot play, dude.
Points. I kill the locusts. I don't actually get the scythe, but it's gonna buzz around and then die immediately afterwards. And I start like working around, and now it's like, all right, he can get 1 more consecrate and it'll be fine, but I just can't get him like 2 more. And so I'm just buzzing around the edges. I ingress Samael. I hit his expansion. Samael cleans out the flayed ones and the Locust Heavy Destroyer squad with the lore that's there at the same time, because Samael is just, that guy.
Dude, he is that guy.
Samael's that guy. I have the lion bouncing around, kind of waiting for him to ingress his 6 Ophidians. Once he does, he runs them at me. I ingress the lion, and I kind of like lock eyes with him. The 6 Ophidians roll a charge that doesn't get them anywhere good, and instead of like trying to escape the line, he just leans into it. And so we fight. He does not kill the line, kill them all in his turn. We keep going. And I'm just like carving off a diff point at a time. My genuine favorite play of the game, and it was a wonderful game, Arnaud was lovely, was that I was at a certain point I put 2 vengeances in his deployment zone to shoot at his last Locust Heavy squad. And I shoot and I kill all of the destroyers and not the Lord, because that's how the Locust unit works. Fair enough. He resorbs, he's near Reanimator, he gets like 4 of them back. He had overwatched me, and he had taken my vengeance from 10 to 2. and then he runs up onto the third objective that is not consecrated to shoot at my 2 wound vengeance.
Oh,
And I overwatch, kill a locust, and I say I'm gonna try to fail my hazardous, reroll a pass, die to the hazardous, and I can't be shot to death for consecrate.
amazing.
So good. I was so happy when it worked. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
killed myself with a hazardous test on purpose. That's how we do it.
Nailed it. Fucking got him, dude.
Yeah, and that kept him off of consecrate for another turn. He ended up getting it on turn 5 was when he got his next step of consecrate.
Yeah.
I was playing recon, so I scored 100 points because I was playing recon with units on Dawn of War.
Yep.
It's like kind of how it happens. And I was just trying to hold him as low as possible. And I tried to keep him off of 70, and he got there at the end.
Okay.
But that's still a 15-5.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. It's we take those, right? You play against the faction specialist on Team France, you just gotta take
lock
that
in, dude.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah. And then we ended up drawing France, which is I would say that in the past, I think that some of the Team USAs we've been on in the past would have been let down by that and suffered for it in the last round.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a brief moment post round where the French had like crazy big cheer because they thought that was it, that they had just won the event. Spoiler. And I think there was like a little bit of room for that to kind of creep in, but I think across me being like fucking in the hunt still, focus up, and then your pre-round speech before we went into Sweden kind of kept us on the rails.
Oh, I'm glad the speech helped. I never know if those are taken seriously, if I just sound like a bad movie character.
No, I mean, we gotta, that's the captain's rousing fucking shot, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, the message was very simple, which is just that, like, hey, it doesn't matter that we don't control our destiny, we control the next 4 hours. So take care of your part, and you'll be proud of it in the morning. And that's it.
That's all you can do.
Like, that's just control what's in front of you, get it done. If we control what's in front of us, we're top 2, and that's still a damn fine showing.
Fucking good enough.
But we end up going into Sweden, and one of the I think a thing to highlight is one of the things that we had consciously decided on as a leadership unit and with the coaches was that we weren't going to give the players more information than necessary in game. And so when I finished my game into Sweden, and it's a very tight, hard-fought round. Sweden's our homies. They're our practice partners. We knew them well, and they knew us well. When I finished mine, I got a 9 into Jesper, a result I was personally disappointed in, but Jesper is quite good, and Adamek is much better than anyone would admit. And so I finished my game, and I'm like maybe the 4th or 5th person done with the round. And then that's when I find out that Germany is currently putting belt to ass against France.
It was me that told you, right?
I think Brino got to me first.
Got to you first, yeah.
Yeah. So Doherty, and so I'm like, oh my god, like, is it real? And each person, as they finish the game, they're like, how's the round going? We're like, super tight. We might draw. And everyone's like, oh no. And then they're like, but France might actually lose.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? And we all had this moment of like, oh my god. And obviously we were trying to turn the draw into the win. And it ended up that Sweden was going to get the high side on us most likely. And so each player kind of found out as they went. So each time, and all the way up to the 8th player to finish, each time someone finished a game, it was, how are we doing? We might draw, but it's okay because France might lose. And then it happened. France lost before our last game finished. I think we had 7 games done when France officially lost to Germany. Shout out to the Germans, whatever the heck Plan X meant. I don't know. The crazy Germans pulled it off. I think it's just one of those things where, like, as good as France is and was, eventually you have to get unlucky.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even think it was that crazy. So my understanding of how that round went from the German perspective is that they had a game that was always going to be flippy, right? They had their IK list. That IK list is flippy. They built it to be so be it. But then past that, what had happened was Arna went first, Tim went first, and there was one other. Let me see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Niklas went first.
Okay.
And they were just like, bet, ball up top. And all three of those fucking sent it. And their Tau held the French orcs to a 12. And their orcs, lost with an 8. And that meant that because Arna got a 20 and Tim got a 16 and Niklas got a 17, that the rest of it was just too much. I think from what I have been told, just talking at the bar the following night, is that the Germans had a much quicker awareness that the round was in hand than the French did as far as reacting to it goes.
Mm.
Their ability to get around and ask for push calls all came in games that were like way too late or already sold or already done or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I know Powell mentioned in his game, his opponent was asked for a push call when they were like scoring turn 5 and he had like, 60, 70 points already. Just too much. So yeah, they pulled that off, and that meant that we won, which was
Woo!
insane.
Yeah. I mean, that was crazy, I mean, it wasn't as much as we'll joke about it, that was actually not how we drew it up.
No,
Not how we drew it up at all.
we started the Sweden pairing with like God's most flippy game. The first pairing to be revealed against Sweden was the Carnival Mirror.
Yep. Just gotta go for it.
Yeah. And to be fair, I had a sick opening line that had me up 3v1 in the Defiler
The
Mirror,
grab-off.
and I lost the 1v3. That's just, shit
How it
happens.
goes. Yeah. I mean, it got crazy in a lot of games. I certainly had some swings in mine. I think there were some swings in many. The Sweden round was very much it was grindy all the way down. Our highest score in that round was like a 13.
Yeah, it was a 13 from Folger.
Yep. And it was just like then our scores, because I think we won 4 and they won 4. There were no draws. And our scores, I think, were like 13, 12, 11, 11. And then we had, I think the only game that was a big win was their orcs into us getting a 16-4 into our CSM, which is genuinely heroic from Sam. He matrixed that as a 0. And then they had their like 3 11Zs to 12Zs, and we had our 4 11Zs to 13Zs. And that meant they had the high side of the draw, but it was a draw.
Matter to us.
Yeah. And I mean, it was really just that we had the team survived everything that was terrible with at least a draw.
Yep.
And, we didn't beat France to finish ahead of them, but we didn't lose when the rounds got weird.
Yep.
And the resilience was what I was probably the most proud of the team throughout the week and the year.
Yeah. The lead ups to all these events. I mean, every event we went to was us being like, okay, we have faction specialists, but those armies aren't good right now. How do we pivot? What do we do? And a year of prepping in the campaign release mines really did, unfortunately, prep us for whatever this mess was. And it worked out.
Yeah. Somehow it worked. Somehow Germany returned.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Now we owe Germans many beers for the rest of our lives.
I mean, my Discord for the next year, my Discord profile is like Team Germany #1 or whatever it is. I forget exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Thank you, Team Germany. That is what my Discord profile says.
There you go. I'm going to go get in touch with my German roots. I got a little bit of ancestry there.
There you go.
So we did it. And then we got to be very stoic on camera together.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Definitely didn't cry on the shoulder of every single person at arm's length.
Yeah, I mean, I like literally fell on the ground at one point.
I saw that.
Yeah, someone got like the stream clipped shot of me just like kneeling while Anna was sat next to me, because like we did it. It's been 5 years. By every like, even vaguely reasonable metric, this is the single largest accomplishment of, my life thus far.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a pretty crazy final win. No unbloodied podium this time. No clean XO for anybody in that room.
Yeah, I mean, it was a new edition year with an extra twist thrown on top. It was bloody and messy, and it was definitely less of a dominate the field and more of be the last person above water.
Yep.
And we take those.
Yeah, I
Uh,
look the
I'm in the
volatility.
same. I'm in the same page as you. This is zero contest, not close. My proudest accomplishment in my Warhammer career.
Yep.
And I mean, the only thing I would put this even remotely on par with is landing my wife, and
Sure.
that's it. Those are the two.
Yep.
Both in the last year, like getting married and this, like it was comparable. Someone asked me how I felt at like right after, and I think what I said was every single person who walks up to me and says good job looks like my wife in her wedding dress for the first time.
Yeah.
Just like
That's
it was just the euphoria being shot laser beamed into my brain over and
forehead.
over and over.
Yep.
Like, oh my god, we did like
we did it. Yeah.
Really thought there was definitely a little bit where the doom was setting in, and I was like, we're gonna get second place again. We're gonna get second place again. And it fell the other way for once.
Yeah, just one time. Just needed one
time, baby.
But yeah, that was the year. We had a team dinner. We went out to the bar and bought every German man that we could see a drink.
Mm-hmm.
John had his first beer.
Yep. I did. Wasn't great.
The cherry beer is pretty good.
But it was fine.
But it on the context, it's fine for alcohol, right? Like that's the
Yeah. I typically do not drink.
Yep.
I make a point of just not consuming alcohol, period. Don't do it. And so I'd never had a drink. Like I'd have a sip of a glass of wine in the past when I was young, and my parents were like, "Here, John, try this." I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
But I think this is the first time that I actually had a glass of alcohol that I started and finished.
Yep.
And I drank one cherry beer. Then I had like 3 sips of a mojito, and it was too much for me. I was like,
mojito is where you draw the line.
I had a couple sips and I was really not enjoying it, and I just like handed it back to Nas. I was like, hey,
yeah, you got to be into
I'm sorry.
You got to be into the components of the mojito as well. You got to like mint and stuff. Like it's a.
So yeah. I like mint. It was just the alcohol. Taste of alcohol, no bueno.
Yeah,
like I said, I'd had a virgin mint mojito at Bar Popular the past 3 times we were there.
That makes sense.
Like, yeah, I had every year Adam Camilleri would buy me a virgin mint mojito after WTC.
Okay.
And it's yummy, and I like that. And apparently there was one ingredient missing that I didn't like that much.
I see. It makes sense.
And so that's okay. So I had my one drink, and I don't think there's another one coming anytime soon. No, but
that makes sense. Until we win next year, dude.
Hey, look, check back in here. I will have. I'll tell you what. I'll have 2 drinks if we win next year.
Crazy.
I know. Yeah. Then when we 3-peat, I'll get 3. And so
there you go. And then we'll stop right there.
Then I'm done. Done. No, we'll see about that. So yeah. So a damn fine year.
Yeah. I mean, we won every event we attended.
Yep. Team USA, we went to 3 events internationally. 4 if we count War Masters.
Well, I was going to say Heroes, but
well, I said internationally.
Yeah.
And then so I took Team USA to 4 events, 4 first places. Then we did War Masters, Folger, got it. So by every metric imaginable, a damn good year for Team USA.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm feeling fulfilled. I don't know about you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is the first.
I've been sleeping well.
Yeah, I mean, I've been jet lag scammed for once. I don't know what happened. Normally, I'm like totally fine with it, but this last like run has been not so great for that.
Yeah.
I think it might just be an exhaustion debt thing where like I pushed it even with us trying to take care of ourselves. I still pushed it a bit much. And so it's just going to be recovering from that for a little bit.
I do think that I've been asleep. So today's Thursday.
Yep.
I think that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, I think my fall asleep times were 8:39, 8:30.
Yeah.
So we're still working on that. I will probably try to stay up till 10 or 11 tonight.
Just
Real
to try to get
brave of
closer to
me.
the schedule.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
normally I'm like a in bed at around 11:30 person.
Sure.
Like, and maybe not on a weekend.
Right.
But I've definitely been conking out early, but getting long hours of sleep to try to catch up on whatever the heck happened towards the
Yeah.
end there.
Yeah. It was definitely quite the process. So what comes next, dude? You interview the rest of the team now?
Yes. So for the podcast, we'll try to get more members of the team on. We'll take a look at what the members of the team are still doing for the next couple of months. For Team USA, our process is that we're probably gonna take. I think we're gonna take the rest of August off from doing anything official. The coaches are gonna do a little bit of a recap with players, and then we'll have captain elections in September, where around the end of August we'll probably all wake up and talk to each other and be like, "Hey, are you gonna? Who's gonna? Or am I gonna? Who's gonna do it?" And we'll figure
Who
that out
who
in
bears the
10
torch of
days.
captaincy, dude?
Who wears the iron crown? Who
Yeah.
must sit the throne and start bleeding to madness?
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna go get a car before then, which is great because John needs a
Woo!
new car. um,
Yay.
and yeah, then we'll kind of spend a couple months walking through the wind up and what we're gonna do next. But either way, either myself or a new captain will probably start a nice application process in the end of September, October, November timeline.
Yep.
I've got for events, I've got Challengers Cup next,
Me too,
and you'll be there
technically.
refereeing. I'll be there playing for
Yes.
Art of War. Um, and I'll call you on Ganya's team a lot. Is what I'm planning.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're
That'll
old. They
work.
probably get their rules wrong.
Ganya will just flinch when he sees a ref after WTC. So
Hmm. So we'll time to start the process over, right?
yep.
I am committed that I want to be part of the team again this year. I do not want to go out. I don't want to win and then leave.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't want to win once and then leave. Well,
Say the number matters.
yeah. There's a point, but I definitely have another year of commitment to Team USA in me. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to come back, and hopefully we also get to find out when WTC is soon. I think that's a process that'll probably pick up pretty quickly in like September, October, where
Yeah.
the captain's
All
council
that
do that. We'll talk about what
decisions.
we can as that's going on. I for one am really curious to see where it goes because I was quite happy to have it back in Mechelen, but I'm willing to hear what France, Poland, or other areas have to offer
Somewhere
regarding
with air
where
conditioning.
WTC could be. I would really love to do it in May or June or July or September if I got to choose.
Yeah, not August.
Michaela turns 30 next August, and I definitely spent her 29th birthday watching like War Masters and playing practice games in the hall while she was in the United States.
Yep.
And my wife is just so good to me. But I really don't want to take that line 2 years in a row.
Yeah. I mean, I hope for your sake that's not where it goes, dude.
I if her birthday lands on WTC again, she will be with me in Europe. That's the
Yeah.
guarantee I made her.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair, dude.
Yeah.
I will not be returning in a playing role next year. Basically, no matter, unless we have comical roster bleed.
Yeah.
I will be pursuing a non-playing role of some variant. If you watch F1, I'm going to be shooting for like a team principal type beat, whether that involves, on the paperwork being the captain or John doing it or whatever, that's fine. But I have given all I can give to this endeavor as a pilot at this point. I have run out of gas. And that is not to say that I will not, take 27 off and run it back in 28. We begin to hear the whispers of the olds looking to return even now as after our W. So I have been messaged by two people from the past that are looking at a comeback now that I'll talk to
Oh,
John with once I hit end recording,
ooh, that's
because
exciting.
that is private. But you guys will know once the Academy season kicks off.
There we go. Good times, good times. I think that's all we got for today. A long one, but a good one. And also, hey, cameras, look at that.
Look at us
I know.
doing things on camera, winning WTC. It only took 5 years and getting every other placing during that window.
We did sweep 1 through 5, so if we get 6th, I'll know. If we get 6th next year, I'll know that it's fate. But if we
Yeah.
start repeating, then I just assume we're going to keep cycling between 1 and 5 again.
Yeah, and then eventually we get back to 1, so you have to ride it until you get it again, dude.
Right until we get it. All right. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. As always, any support that you can give to the team is wonderfully appreciated. Wherever you're watching this, we have a link to a Patreon if you want to show support for Team USA. We've got a long road ahead, but we were able to succeed this year because of the support of the community, including our wonderful sponsors. We're going to have to get some of those sponsors onto the show pretty quickly because, well, we're going to be going to one of their events soon. So I'm going to see if we can get some of those on before we start gearing up for Challengers Cup. And of course, we'll also try to get some starters on. We will continue to run the show during the off season because we want to bring the starters on, introduce them to everyone, give them a bit of a platform so that you can see what's going on with Team USA and so that you can peek behind the curtain and see what is next for us for the next year. Thank you everyone on Team USA for a genuinely magical year. I cannot understate how much these past 12 months have been no holds barred the best of my life. Like,
yeah,
not even close. The last 12 months, absolute best that John has ever been.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear that.
Yeah. And totally because I got married and for other reasons.
That's right.
That'll do it.
All right. With all that said, goodbye, Team USA podcast. Much love. I'm going to hit the end recording button.